Decline in reading is inhibiting learning, academics warn. Ned Cabot, a business lecturer at George Mason University in Virginia, emphasizes that students should actively cultivate the habit of engaging with quality news. Like many educators globally, Cabot grapples with the growing challenge of motivating young people to read, interpret, and critically analyze information, whether for leisure, classroom learning, or general knowledge. This struggle raises concerns about how best to prepare future leaders and citizens for an increasingly complex world. Cabot notes that some students lack foundational knowledge and factual understanding, while others possess facts but struggle to discern their credibility or origins. This gap makes evaluating information and contextualizing it difficult. As educators, we're constantly competing with digital distractions, which erode attention spans and deepen the divide between traditional learning and modern consumption. From radio to television, and now smartphones, social media, and AI, the threat of declining reading skills has been a persistent concern. However, these technologies have intensified the pressure on today's students and those shaping tomorrow's society to adapt rapidly. The result? A generation more reliant on quick, fragmented information than ever before. Lauren McClanahan, a teacher at Western Washington University, recalls a student who admitted, "I don't read." Most of her students have little tolerance for lengthy texts, shorter attention spans, and a preference for bite-sized content. As teacher educators, we're caught between the demands of modern tech and the need to nurture critical thinking. Our students are being tested not just on their knowledge, but on their ability to navigate a world where information is often abundant, but not always trustworthy. Researcher-driven debates highlight factors like anxiety, information overload, and digital distractions as contributors to declining reading habits. Textbooks and academic articles, once pillars of knowledge, are increasingly seen as overwhelming or biased. The consequences include distrust in institutions, a preference for echo chambers, and a shift toward algorithm-driven content that prioritizes engagement over depth. A notable trend is the erosion of mainstream news influence. The 2025 Reuters Institute report reveals a sharp rise in social media and video-based consumption, further diminishing institutional journalism's role. Yet, as Professor Renee Hobbs of the University of Rhode Island argues, traditional journalism remains vital. While objectivity is a myth, its practices like independence, transparency, and complexity have served us well for centuries. For business and economics educators, ensuring students engage with quality journalism is crucial. Institutions like Marginal Revolution University integrate media articles into their free online resources, making economics accessible through real-world insights. Celia Capsamara, a business executive and lecturer at Columbia University, highlights that reading current events helps students grasp interconnected risks and stay informed. It's not just about staying updated, it's about sharpening critical thinking and understanding how global issues affect everyday life. Robert Daly, Director of Student Engagement at Fordham University, stresses that students need to understand the business environment to anticipate market shifts and recognize the impact of their future employers. He encourages regular reading of quality business media and weekly discussions to hone presentation skills and deepen their grasp of course material. They need to see how to write for business, he says, because their boss, client, or peer needs immediate access to what's happening, whether they should care or how to make quick judgments. Other strategies include lateral reading, to vet sources before consuming content, fact-checking tools, and hands-on journalism practice. Shuvik Banerjee, founder of Averpoint, a tool that gamifies reading and understanding, advocates for students to read freely and critically, rejecting news as absolute truth. He warns that algorithms can't fix media bias. Instead, students must learn to question claims, evaluate evidence, and critique sources. Banerjee draws on James Potter's media literacy teachings to promote close reading and critical thinking, urging students to question, review, and corroborate claims in news articles. Professor Potter himself acknowledges the growing distractions that hinder deep reading. He notes, people want to feel informed, but don't really want to work at it. There's no quick fix. To address this, he argues for an educational system that builds analytical and evaluative skills from an early age. You have to develop these through hard work, he says. Many business schools and universities now offer FT subscriptions to students, providing access to global news resources. The FT offers free online subscriptions to pre-college students aged 16 to 19, teachers, and schools worldwide, alongside UK colleges of further education. This initiative aims to equip students with the tools to navigate a rapidly changing world.